Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Property Venture Podcast. My name is Giancarlo Carangelo, and I'm your host. I'm super excited to kick off this journey with everyone. Today, I have my partner with me, who's also going to be the co-host, Mr. Anthony Loggia. He's a personal friend of mine and a professional partner. He's not only a great investor, but he's also someone that I have the pleasure of collaborating with over and over again for the last 5-6 years. 7 years. There we go. So Anthony Loggia, welcome. Say hello to everyone listening.
Super. Hey, Giancarlo, thank you for having me. Really excited to get this podcast going. We're going to be calling it PVP for short.
Property Venture Podcast.
There we go. So I'm really looking forward just to sharing our experiences, bringing on guests that are really going to give us a more in-depth look at real estate investing, whether you're investing at home, domestically, in Canada, or you're doing so abroad. We're here for you. We're going to connect you with the professionals you need in order to gain some really valuable experience.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, we've had some interesting adventures, definitely had some interesting scenarios in the world of real estate. And I think that it's time to really, share these stories and these scenarios and the things that we've learned along the way with everyone listening. So, let's kick things off a little bit by explaining, what the Property Venture Podcast is, where it came from. Of course, it's from Proventure, which is a project that we just launched. So, this podcast is basically born out of that with the need to dive deeper into real estate investing and also not just benefit us as professionals, but to share our knowledge with a wider audience, with someone who was like we were at one point in time, who wanted to become real estate investors, but didn't know where to start or how to even begin. So we'll be talking about everything from how to start your first real estate investment to mastering the art of scaling your real estate portfolio.
That's right. And like I said, we're going to be bringing on experts, a wide array of experts, whether they're actual investors or professionals in the industry. You're going to get a first-hand knowledge of how they work, how they think, and how they could better your business. And, just to put it into perspective as well, I've been in real estate since 2017, and it's changed tremendously over time, right?
Oh, totally.
Completely.
Yeah.
And what I find we often, or at least in the beginning, we did not do is we did not set goals.
No.
And this is why it's so important
to have a plan.
To have a plan in place.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve in the next year, 2 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
We believe strongly in education, and it's a big reason why we've started PVP.
And, you need to learn before you earn, right? And I've been in real estate myself since 2015, and definitely I could say I am guilty of not having a plan. I've always been a man who's winged it, my entire life. Whatever it was, I winged it, and it worked well. And I thought that when I got into real estate, I could just wing this too. And I learned very, very quickly the cost of winging it in real estate, investing, and exactly how much it costs in time and money.
Absolutely. And I could say that even in 2017, when I started this journey initially, actually, it was just to invest in real estate. So I opted to do my brokerage license, thinking this was the right path forward.
Yeah.
However, what we quickly realized is it's not. They don't teach us the network. They don't teach us how to negotiate deals. They don't teach us how to find creative ways to finance your deals.
Yeah. And school teaches you only so much, but the real education definitely comes from hands-on experience. And unfortunately, experience comes from trial and error, trying and learning and facing some obstacles along the way, And I think that, one of the big reasons we started this podcast is to start demystifying the real estate investment myths, basically. It's not just for the wealthy or the experienced. Real estate is, in fact, one of the most accessible ways to build a better future if you do it right.
Exactly. And, doing it right starts with getting the right education, surrounding yourself with the adequate network that could advance you, right? And this is what we're trying to do here at Proventure.
Exactly. Exactly. And, let's just break it down a little bit. Let's let everyone know who we are and where we come from. So I'll start with this. A little bit about us. My name is Giancarlo Carangelo. I've been in real estate for the last 10 years, investing and doing deals in both Canada, US, Dominican Republic. I myself, believe it or not, have I don't have an extensive academic background, so real estate was really my only option. I've personally invested in a wide range of properties, from condos to multi-unit complexes. And, ever since a young age, really, ever since I was about 15 years old, real estate has been a passion of mine. I remember getting my driver's license and just spending hours driving around the city, looking at properties. And I knew from a young age that real estate was something that I was interested in. I came from a restaurant background, service background, worked in hotels and everything. So getting into real estate was definitely one of the service-based familiarities that I was accustomed to, and this is how I decided to ultimately start by becoming a real estate broker, buying and selling properties, doing transactions until I built my property management business from the ground up, at which point we operated $10 million of assets under management. And, during this career, I took some people under my wing, some brokers, Anthony, for example, that I had met in a real estate commercial course in 2018. He is my longest standing partner, and I've definitely taken some people under my wing, taught them the way, showed them the ropes, and basically became a sort of mentor to, brokers who wanted to get into the business. And this is, I think, what led us to the idea of starting Proventure. We could teach other people what we've learned in the real estate investment world without the costly mistakes that I unfortunately had to endure. The sleepless nights, all the obstacles and the hurdles that we had to come out to. So it's definitely, real estate is definitely my passion and my way of life. It's not only a career for me. What about you, Anthony? Let the listeners know where you come from.
So I already alluded a bit to it, but I think we have similar kind of ambitions, similar goals. When we were young, we always looked at real estate as something that was interesting, something we wanted to pursue. I was too young at the time, so I went towards a more traditional path. So I went to university, did my finance degree, worked in the banks, did sales, negotiation, and then finally led myself into real estate. Just because I wanted to invest in my own real estate, in my own properties. I wanted to be the one to negotiate my transactions. Now, with all these years of experience that we've both been through, right, I think our model and the model that we want to give to you guys is the fact that our mistakes should not have to be your mistakes.
Definitely. And what better way to learn than from someone who's actually done it, guys? This is the thing in school. I remember once I took a business course, and it dawned on me fairly quickly that the teacher teaching the curriculum about the business course had never actually started a business. So I was literally learning from someone who's never even applied this in real life. She was basically just reading a curriculum off of paper. So what better way to learn than from somebody who put blood, sweat, and tears into their craft and has the hands-on experience and made the mistakes? Because after all, you don't need to make the same mistakes that we made.
Definitely. Well, we've learned a lot along the way,
100%.
and you're definitely going to learn as well with us.
We're excited to teach you guys. We're excited to share our knowledge and our experience with you.
Absolutely.
So let's get into a little fun segment here to kick things off. Okay, real estate in a tweet.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. So we're going to describe real estate terms in 280 characters or less, just like a tweet. Okay. All right, Anthony? So let's have some fun with this. Okay, so why don't you ask me the first question?
Oh, okay. What is return on investment?
Good one. So ROI, return on investment, is a ratio of profit from an investment to the cost of the investment. Profit divided by the investments equal ROI, and the higher the ROI, the better.
So basically, it's the money you're putting into a project and how much you're getting out of it, right? That's the return on investment. And it's something crucial, obviously, when looking at investing in real estate.
Exactly. So why don't you try to explain to us in a tweet what equity is?
Equity is the amount of money or the amount of ownership you have in your property, right? Because when you're purchasing, whether it's a single family condo, multiplex, chances are the bank owns most of the home.
Yeah.
Now, the other portion of it, for example, your down payment or the payments you're going to make every month, a portion of it gets attributed to equity. This is the money that belongs to you from the building.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah. So now let's talk a little bit about, what our listeners could expect from the future episodes. I just want to give you guys a little bit of insight of what we have planned for this podcast. Okay. So here's a little bit about what you could expect from us and the upcoming episodes. So we plan on covering a wide variety of topics, like how to finance your first property, the importance of location in real estate, what to look for in a business partner, as well as how to identify opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. And then we're going to be speaking to professionals in the industries.
Yeah.
So whether that's a mortgage broker, an inspector, property manager, or whoever else, we're going to bring them on. And if you guys have any suggestions as well for guests that you would like to see, definitely type it in the comments. We'd be happy to accommodate.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys too. And I think one thing that we're going to do as well, as well as add professionals to our show, is we're going to bring on people who are everyday people, professionals, and who have invested in real estate. So these people are going to come on, they're going to share their stories and share their experience on how they've invested in real estate and their properties, just to give you guys a great insight that if they could do it, you could do it too.
For sure. And you're going to get to hear from everyday people, whether they take a conservative approach or one that's a lot more aggressive. Now, we've helped personally people of all sorts.
All sorts.
But you're going to hear from people that we haven't helped, that they've done these things on their own, or maybe they've taken a completely different path. The idea is to expose you guys to various amount of people and then to decide for yourselves what you want to achieve.
Exactly. So let's do a little fun segment here, because we're going to be tossing in these fun segments even with our guests as the course of the show goes on. So this one's called Crazy Investments. Now, I'm going to share a story of a really unusual property investment. And let's start by having Anthony guess if it's true or false. You ready for this, Anthony?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So once there was a property listed in Vancouver for $1 million. It was literally a shack, no running water, no electricity, just a wooden box, a shell of a property in the middle of nowhere. And it sold for $1 million. Is this true or is this false?
I would say it's absolutely true. The Vancouver market is out of control, and we know it's one of the most expensive markets in the world to buy real estate. So I think even nowadays that $1 million may be a steal.
You're right. Actually, this was actually true. I mean, it was priced all based on its location. And if you see this online, you could see the thing was literally a shoebox and it sold for $1 million.
It's incredible.
Now, let's talk about the worst investment I ever made.
Oh, God.
I know, I definitely have a story about this one. So let's talk a little bit about our worst investments. So I'll start by this, okay? Now, I remember this was in the beginning of the COVID frenzy, right around 2020, I'm going to say the beginning of 2022. And as everyone who knows, who's been maybe following the markets a little bit, 2019 to 2022 in the real estate market was absolutely bonkers.
Fire.
It was crazy. It was insane. And I remember that I was riding a high wave, man. I had made 2 solid investments back to back. I had purchased a gem of a property where I saw the hidden potential. Amazing purchase. And then I had purchased a very, very affordable and promising condo on a new development, of course. And when it came to this third purchase, and I did these purchases fairly quickly, I did all three of them in about a year. Now, when it came to my third purchase, I mean, I remember seeing this property, and you remember that property?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I remember seeing this property and seeing the potential, and I was just so high on this wave
were
that I was riding.
enamored.
I was high. And guys, let this be an example when it comes to real estate investing. Do not invest based on emotions. Yeah. Invest based on numbers. So I bought this property, and we were getting informed whether I should take a fixed or variable mortgage. This was around January 2022. And when I crunched the numbers, it was basically, I had to do a evaluation between fixed and variable. And I remember the fixed rate coming in at, let's just say for the sake of this episode, mortgage payment of $750 a month. But then when I looked at the variable rate, the payment was $620 a month. And I said, you know what? The market's on fire. Rates are at astronomical lows. What are the chances that it's going to die anytime soon? Give me the variable rate, because I'm going to put an extra $130 a month of cash flow in my pocket. Sure enough, I bought this property and I ran the numbers and I had my cash flow. I bought the property and notarized it 3 weeks before the rates started increasing. Guys, this was one of my worst experiences. And within the span of 6 months, my mortgage payments went up $645 a month, and that ate all my cash flow. Not even a year later, my property that was supposed to put $700 plus of cash flow in my pocket was now breaking even. One more rate increase, and I was in the negatives. And you know, I made that based off of emotions. Riding a high wave. We ultimately thought that the real estate market was going to keep going strong like that, and we didn't suspect those increases to happen. And this is just a great example, guys, as a real estate investor. You know, it's all about numbers and never about emotions. And I let the emotions get the best of me, the excitement, and that was definitely my worst experience as a real estate investor.
You know, as much as maybe it wasn't the best situation, you got out of it in a really smooth manner.
We had a good exit strategy. And you know what? I learned a lot.
Yes.
I learned that I was very much a fixed rate guy.
Yes.
That I would love to have the same payments for the term. I learned that variable was not my thing.
It's easier to plan.
Exactly.
Right?
And I learned a lot. But, you know, it's often these types of scenarios that shape us to be the great real estate professionals that we are.
For sure.
So what about your worst investment? Tell us about this.
I would say the worst transaction was, it was purchasing a single dwelling. They had completely renovated it from A to Z. And I thought to ourselves, wow, this is a great opportunity. It's completely done, clé en main, as we say.
Yeah.
Right? Key in hand.
Turnkey.
Turnkey.
Yep.
So we said, there's nothing to lose here. Only to find out there was severe moisture in all the walls. So this was a hidden defect that the seller opted not to tell us. The sellers, they were flippers. And how do we know that they would do something like this? We obviously did not know. They had no file against them.
No.
And sometimes you just get really unlucky. And at that point, and unfortunately, most of the time, you just eat it, right?
Yeah, you do. And you know what? There's never any losses in life, only lessons. And I think that based on these two stories that we just shared, we both learned a very valuable lesson. And it made us the real estate professionals we are today. I mean, with that being said, let's play a little something called What Would You Do? So again, guys, these are little fun segments that you're going to see throughout the episodes of this podcast. So, Anthony, I'm going to give you a scenario. Let me know how you would handle it. Are you ready?
Let me know. Go for it.
All right. So, you're renovating a property and you find a hidden room with 200-year-old artifacts. What would you do?
Oh, my. There's always a part of me that's thinking, I'm going to hoard it and I'm going to just use it for myself personally. But, you know, there's a business opportunity there, I'm sure. Right? Maybe you could align yourself with someone who's in the industry, who understands these artifacts.
Yeah.
Maybe make it into a sort of special speakeasy-esque of a room. But there's always opportunity. There's people that, will invest in anything or, convert it into something really special.
Oh, there's definitely got to be a market for artifacts. I mean,
Yeah.
I would definitely
would you
get
do?
it evaluated
Yeah.
by an appraiser and then, see how much money it's worth and if we can make some more money and recuperate those investment costs.
Yeah. I'd also go back to like the certificate of location
Yeah.
and try to get the land surveyor to fix up
Justify
that mistake.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so rapid fire questions, guys. This is a fun
Awesome.
one. We're going to do this with every guest we have on. So, Anthony, we're going to start with you. Okay, it's our final segment of the first episode, rapid fire questions. So, I'm going to ask you a quick question, and you have to answer as fast as possible.
Sure.
Ready? All right, so would you rather live in a tiny house or a mansion with no privacy?
Oh God, tiny house.
Tiny house.
Absolutely. Yourself?
I think I would live in a tiny house as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
Yeah, less cleaning, less maintenance, that's for sure. Would you invest in a haunted house if it was 50 cents on the dollar?
Absolutely. What do you mean? You know how easy you can market that?
Guys, I would definitely invest in a haunted house. And the minute I notarize it, I would bring in a priest and have it blessed
That's
and get
it.
rid of all that and restore that value.
Giancarlo, flip or rent?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm very much a rent guy, buy and hold guy. With that being said, buy and hold is the stable, steady way and the guaranteed way. Flip comes with a lot of costs, but a higher reward. So I'm going to say rent for me.
Yeah, I'm with you almost 100% on that. Sometimes it's beneficial to flip it,
Yeah.
right? Maybe it doesn't fit your needs in your portfolio. You never want to let a real estate opportunity go to waste.
Never. Exactly. So, I mean, this was an awesome, fun first episode, guys. I'm really excited to, produce more episodes for you, spit out content for you, and really excited for you to see what we have in store for this podcast. So, that's all we have today for the Property Venture Podcast. We hope you found this introduction episode fun, helpful, and, I can't wait to show you guys the ton of great ideas we have coming up for you on the show.
Yeah, guys, so make sure to follow us on social media for any updates or extra content. And remember, we're here to help you grow in your real estate knowledge and in your profession.
Yes.
To make better investment decisions.
Exactly. And you can follow us on Instagram at Real Proventure. You'll keep up with all the information and tips via social media. And reach out to us through Instagram, guys, if you have any idea. We have YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. You're going to be seeing Proventure everywhere. So, guys, until next time, keep learning, keep investing, and don't be afraid to venture out into the real estate world. My name is Giancarlo Carangelo, joined with my partner, Anthony Loggia, and we're excited to see you guys again.